Well, it's almost the end of June 2020, and the world continues to change day by day. And my own life has changed drastically in the past couple of days when I became an auntie for the first time. I welcomed my nephew into this world just a couple days ago, and even though I can't be with him, I have been visiting with him through my phone and with his mom, who's my sister, ever since he was born. And I look at him and I think, man, what world are you growing up in right now? And what story do I want to tell you about this time that you were born into? And of course, the answer was so clear to me. I want to tell him a real kick ass story about who he was and what he brought into this world and what his contribution turned me into, right? So I feel re inspired. I want to tell him this story of strength. I want him to know that his auntie made it through and that this pandemic did not slow her down. In fact, after he was born, she became more productive. She repaired relationships and made stronger ones. She became braver and more courageous. And she emerged from this pandemic with new contributions, positive contributions to this world. That's the story I want to tell him. So if I want to tell him that story, then I better be congruent with this story and start acting accordingly so that I have a real, true, amazing, kick ass story to tell him 10 to 15 years from now. That's what I want. And of course, not all of us need a new baby nephew or a niece or child in order for us to tell them that story. The truth is, we're telling ourselves that story. So if you think 10 to 15 years in the future, what story do you want to tell yourself about who you became during this really challenging time in history? I hope you'll choose the story of resilience and strength, the comeback story, the story that reminded you that you are invincible, that you are tough as nails, that you are joyful and loving and generous and kind, and that you're a good person, that you will emerge from this pandemic better, stronger, more resilient, and more humanity. So my homework to you is write that story now. Don't let this pandemic slow you down. Don't let it make you complacent. I know there are times that have been tough and that we've had highs and lows through this time, but if you can find a glimmer of inspiration in this time, I hope that it's that you can rewrite the story, make it a comeback one, make it one of overcoming great challenge. Tell me what your story is, and I'm going to continue to rewrite mine because I've got a precious new baby nephew to keep in mind around my story.